we can start the session now with the presentation. All right. So, hello guys. Today we are with Indian Institute of Art and Design, and we have a panelist. We have a good guest list number today. We will be asking a lot of questions today. So IIAD is Indian Institute of Art and Design. It's located in Okhla, New Delhi, and they have a beautiful campus. I visited it quite often. Like whenever I feel that my creativity is coming out, I go to IIAD, I visit, I work there, and yes, I feel good. So today Amit sir is with me, and Jatin sir is with us, and we will be taking and asking a lot of questions. So first of all, Amit sir will be giving you the presentation regarding the courses they offer, the international collaborations, the degrees, the exchange program, and of course the fee structure. And if you are from outside, you have a keen interest to know about the hostel facility. So everything will be guided by Amit sir. And Amit sir, whenever you ask me to make someone the co-host and put it on spotlight, I'll do it. So you can start the session now.
We could have Kanika as a panelist as we speak, if that's I don't know if it allows it. And because she's gonna go back and forth with the online slides. Yeah, hi Kanika. Okay, yeah, should we start?
Yes, of course.
All right, thank you very much, Sumit. Thank you all the students for joining in. These are exciting times for the field of design. We couldn't be more happier, but then the number of design students dropping over the last couple of years because of pandemic, it's worrisome. But then ironically, the design industry in the country, looking at all the global companies coming and setting up their headquarters in the country, and recently there was a study by British Council that Indian design industry is going to be 18,000 crores over the next 4 years. So we couldn't be happier representing design, and these are exciting times and fantastic times for all of you who've taken this seriously and thinking or probably actively taking coaching from Sumit, who's a dear friend. Sumit, thank you again for giving us this opportunity. I will just quickly share my screen. I'd like to introduce Kanika here with me. She is our faculty from Interior Architecture Design. I'll introduce her as she speaks during the course of this presentation. We would also be joined by our director, Dr. Jitin Chadda, faculty from Communication Design and faculty from the fashions, the fashion subjects. So all your questions, if you may have, please park it till the end of the presentation, and we'd love for this to be very engaging, Q&A when the presentation is finished.
Yes, I have a lot of questions to be asked, and a lot of parents have sent their questions to me, and I'll be taking all the question answers once you are done with the presentation.
Sure. So very quickly, I'll just share my screen. Okay, I hope all of you can see my screen. IIAD, what do I talk about this place? We're a learner-centric space, truly a learner-centric space, which works with a lot of experimentators. Our teachers experiment, our students experiment. We encourage failure so that we can teach how to become successful. We're an institute that's really passionate about bringing future relevant designers. It can combine technology and mix that with arts and bring about the best of what the Indian subcontinent can do right from New Delhi with a global collaboration from Kingston University, London. Although our collaboration with Kingston University, which is featured in many global rankings, I'd like to talk about the only one, in the interest of time for this presentation, was ranked as #1 design school in the UK by Guardian's League 2020. Although it gets ranked into many other rankings globally, but then it's a fantastic collaboration which brings forth many progressive education, refinements, so to say, in how we teach to students at IIAD. What you see in front of you is Professor Daniel Chapman speaking to students and teachers at IIAD, which brings about doing progressive faculty training and development, ensuring the quality is maintained at IIAD and it is up to the levels of teaching at Kingston University, London. The markings at Kingston at IIAD is regularly governed by Kingston University and neutral universities in the UK to ensure that the portfolios by IIAD students are at par or even better on occasions than Kingston University students in London. The curriculum is nurtured every now and then It's approved by Kingston University, anything that we teach, and it's regularly checked, and anything that can be improved on is, the feedbacks are taken, and we progressively work with Kingston University to take it forward. What it means for students, you see Mandy here, who's the Dean of Kingston School of Art in London. What it means for the students here is that you are an alumni of Kingston University. There's no differentiation between somebody studying at Kingston or somebody studying at IIAD. You're direct. If you're passing out from IIAD, you're getting an alumni status of Kingston University. Should you choose for a master's progression after completing 4 years of bachelor's degree at IIAD, you're entitled to get a 15% scholarship if you want to pursue that master's in Kingston University. There is an interesting option of 2+2 transfer to Kingston University if you want to, let's say you do 2 years of education in the country in IID and choose to complete your final 2 years in Kingston University. It's of course subject to your portfolio analysis and a lot other admissions criteria, but then you have that option to take a transfer. Should you complete your 4 years at IIAD, the transition of in fact I could say the value of the bachelor's degree that you get from IIAD, which is the Kingston Bachelor's Degree, holds very high repute, and your transition for a master's to any university in the world is pretty seamless. Taking the 2+2 discussion forward, we go beyond the transfer from Kingston. We have a 2+2 program to Kingston School of Art. We have a 1+3 to Nottingham Trent University. We have a 3+1 with various, so we have a combination of these interesting mixes because we understand that every family is different, every student's aspirations is different. Keeping all of them in mind, we have cut down and filtered various universities across these countries, USA, UK, Australia, and Canada, for their bachelor's progression. I mean, within the bachelor's, they can choose for a 2+2 program or a 1+3 program or 3+1. The 2+1 program, however, is only for the management program that we offer, which is the fashion business management. Interestingly, we have seen over the years that USA has seen a decline in how it's perceived for a bachelor's education venue, and UK has seen a more many students are choosing UK because of the work visa allowance that you get after completing your graduation. But we are here to facilitate progression to any of these 4 countries, while they complete the graduation with us. Of course, the 4+0 means most of our students complete their graduation within the country as well. But then we're here to ensure that global progression aspirations are met. Just before the pandemic, these were happy times. The convocation ceremony was presided by our vice chancellor from Kingston University. He flew down. So there's a seamless and an excellent coordination between the faculty at IID and the faculties and the academicians at Kingston University to ensure every event, every small feedback sessions, guest lectures, and the master classes are happening every now and then. So a student graduating from IID, bachelor's or master's, gets this sample, the degree is a sample degree that you get from Kingston University. It's a bachelor's or a master's degree. You also get a regular degree, which is UGC recognized from Lingia's Vidyapeeth University. Many colleges, as a designer, I would say that there are fantastic design schools in the country where they teach fantastic curriculum. However, there's a need for students to enroll themselves into a distance learning program, let's say a sociology or a history or an English distance learning program. Although they graduate with some excellent portfolio, but then their graduation only talks about the degree that they come out with is English or psychology or sociology. We have kind of bypassed that and ensured that our curriculum is accepted, and we are partners with Lingia's Vidyapeeth University to give you a bachelor's degree in the stream that you graduate in. So it's a regular degree course. You don't have to appear for a second course that you undertake, like sociology or something else. You have to write an extra exam to Lingia's, and you graduate with 2 degrees, one from Kingston and one from Lingia's Vidyapeeth, which is a UGC recognized.
Thank you, Amit, for introducing us to our collaborative partners and giving everyone an experience of the same. We would now like to talk to you about the Kingston University hosts the KSA and the IIAD graduate show, Our students were very fortunate to be able to be a part of the graduate show, and all of their work was showcased as part of the KSA website. So please allow me to present my screen so that I can give you a quick walkthrough of the work from all courses and departments.
Kanika, I think it's my screen that's on share. Do you want to share your screen to take them through the Kingston website?
Yeah, thank you, Amit. If you could allow me access.
Sure. Go ahead, Kanika, share your screen.
Yes, you can share your screen now.
Sure. So can you all see my screen? Yes, okay.
We can see, yeah.
So that is the KSA Graduate Show 2021. It is still live. And as you click through, you'd go to the menu page. Once you click on the menu page, you'd be able to scroll through schools and courses. Now, if I click on schools and courses, you can see that there are design schools, art and architecture schools, and others. Going to design schools, we have all the work for IIAD India. I'm going to scroll through some of this for you. BA Communication Design is a course at IIAD. If I click on that, now you can see. As I scroll through, you'd be able to see a program, what communication design is all about, what our graduates have been doing in the variety of fields as part of CD department, what the philosophy has been. And you can see students engaging themselves in workshops and master classes that we do all the time because we are on a hybrid model of learning and teaching. Moving on, you can see the design links to them. You can see a quote from the course leader on each of the course pages. As you scroll through, you can see students that have displayed their work, and all the work is being showcased as part of a variety of diversity of content that we have. Now, if I go back all the way to BA Interior Architecture and Design, that is another course that we offer at IIAD. If I scroll through, you'd be able to see a lot of images of our graduating batch. And as I move forward, you'd be able to see so many projects that include everything in terms of technical details and the extent to which we go in terms of what we teach. So as I move forward with all of these, you'd see a lot of interesting images, wayfinding maps, navigation maps. We're getting very digital with what we're doing nowadays. And as I move forward again, more and more imagery of our final year students and some of our L5 students. This is a retail and cafe project that is on screen. So moving on, as I scroll down, you'd be able to see similarly the program and the philosophy and the introduction to the interior architecture and design course at IIAD. As I move further, you'd be able to see some workshops and live projects here. Our students are in Oroville. This is a project that they did with the local craftspeople right in Oroville itself. So what's very, very interesting about our courses that we like to showcase is working by hands. And as part of this, you can see that there's a lot of studio-based learning, which we'll talk more about. And we do follow the pedagogy that is very aligned to intuition, inquiry, being able to question, being able to find out. So our lecture rooms are really a design studios. We are not a classroom-based education system. So as
Kanika, I'd request you to please punch in this, just send this in the chat box, the link to this KSA grad show link.
Certainly, I will.
For students and Sumit sir also to share this with the students for them to look at. In the interest of time, Kanika, I'm going ahead with the presentation. Just 1 second.
So I will leave the link for everyone to look at in the chat window. And at this time, Amit, you can continue. Thank you.
Yeah, Kanika, go on.
So moving on here at IIAD, we do not have classroom-based education. We are a learner-centric, revolutionary learning space where we're looking at project-based learning. So all our projects are designed by faculty and are approved by Kingston in terms of the curriculum. The campus is very much run by the students because we do have a very interactive campus where we have a lot of engaging experiences on a day-to-day basis. Looking at the faculty, I think what is very, very fantastic as part of the Indian Institute of Art and Design is the faculty background, which is faculty coming from India and all over the world. We have people coming from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Savannah College of Art and Design, London College of Fashion, Kingston Architectural Association, University of Applied Sciences, Berlin, National Institute of Fashion Technology, Delhi, National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, Center for Environmental Planning and Technology, Ahmedabad, School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi, Indian School of Business and Finance, New Delhi, and above all of our faculty are industry practitioners. So everything that we are teaching as part of the system is something that they can make all the market relevance to.
At IID, we offer courses in 3 streams: fashion, communication, and interior design. Fashion at IID is offered in 2 levels, bachelor's and master's. In the bachelor's level, we offer a fashion design course, which is a 4-year program, a fashion communication program, which is of 4 years. Fashion business management is a 3-year program. Master's in fashion at IID is fashion design for 2 years and fashion business management for 2 years. If we had more time, we can talk the whole day of the number of success stories we have of our students. However, to make it aesthetically pleasing and in line with what the grand guidelines are, I could only fit in three students per stream in the slides. So we have Payal Verma here, who's an entrepreneur now, starting her own setup called the Rover Journal. Abhivir Mehta plays at Amit Agarwal, Rashika Ramesh plays at Fab India. The list is far too many with fashion design. Moving on, interior architecture design at IID is a 4 years program, and we talk in length after the session as to how does it differentiate from interior styling, and you can ask questions as to why should you choose architecture and or over interior, or interior architecture design over architecture, and we'll cover it at length after the presentation. The success stories in interior architecture design again is plenty. As we speak, there is a student at IID who's currently doing a paid internship for about 20,000 rupees per month, and I think the internship's for about 4 months in 3rd year, and that goes to show the level of portfolio expertise that the students come about only in the 3rd year for them to get paid internships. We have Vanya Verma here, who's an entrepreneur running her own firm called Vanya Design Company. Simran Bhatia, who's placed at Incubus, Mansi Almadi, who's placed at Studio Lotus. And again, as I said, it's a far too long list. Should anybody with you or your students have time, just reach out to us and we can have a lengthy discussion on the number of students getting internships and placements and where all they are getting employed. Coming to the stream, which is most dear and where we are doing exceedingly well, is communication design. We offer a bachelor's program in communication design for 4 years. There's an interesting new course of postgraduate diploma in communication design. It's a 1-year program only for professionals and graduates who want to fast track their career into the communication design space. We at IID have a second to none network of industry partners where students are working on live projects. The number of organizations who find value working with our students. Interestingly, before COVID, Alibaba came to the country and worked with our students on a project, and none of the college, because IIAD, we have small batches of students that we teach in. It's about 40 students per stream, which makes it easy for our faculty, the industry partners, to give complete concentration to small groups. And that's why I think our students are doing exceedingly well in fashion, interior architecture, or communication design. Some of the success stories in communication design is Chaitanya Bhati, who's an entrepreneur now running Triveni Creative Services, Rakshit Arya, who's placed at Cognizant, Akriti Jan, who's now placed at IBM. The reason why I had the entrepreneurship also listed alongside people who were employed or placed at these organizations is because when you do design, you understand your worth, and it's not like engineering or studying management where placement is the goal. After doing this education for 4 years, you understand that your skills make you employable, and you don't really need to hunt for placements. Whether you do engineering or whether you do management or you end up doing design, you're anyway going to get placed in the industry. There will be a discussion after your graduation where you put your resume on a piece of paper on the table, and you go through an interview and a discussion which will get you a job, you're going to get placed anyway, whether you do a design graduation or anything else. The question is, are you really employable? I'll give you an example. I graduated in 2005. I graduated as a business graduate. I did BBA from Indraprastha University. I got placed with Marketing Times in Maruti. I could not hold on to the job for 3 months. And I'm not saying it was just me, a bad employee. There were many, many students just like me. And over the last 16 years, I've seen many students running after placements and running after colleges to seek out what's the placement like and this and that. There's hardly a question as to how many days did that placement really last. So the question really is, are you an employable resource? Do the companies find value when they employ you? We at IIAD think, that's by statistics, that the number of students we've placed in the industry are still employed at these organizations. So we work with our students for the 3 years after foundation on live projects with the top-notch industry interface that we have. As we speak, this list keeps on increasing. We're working with more than 160 organizations in the industry, the design industry, which brings to the fore market relevant experience. We no longer have projects where I ask you to paint this mug, but you go out and paint this mug without knowing what the market will treat this mug as. So it has to be market relevant, which in turn reflects on your employability and how entrepreneurial you are in your thinking and your mindsets. To ensure this comes about, strategically, we have pushed the internship as an organic development from 2 months to 4 months, 2 years, 2 months in second year to 4 months in third year. And finally, in the final year, you do the internship for 6 months where you work as a lead designer. At IIAD, when you start the final year, you're a true designer, you're ready for the industry. Most of our design graduates get a pre-placement offer during the final year, which is just before they start the major design project, which is the final year of the final semester of the fourth year. We have till date somehow been able to manage it, and we've been able to manage it because our strength is low. We have only 40 to 45 students per stream, and we continue to do that. We are confident of doing that even further because of the number of organizations coming here and working with us. Kanika will talk to you about the digital resources that we have only for IIAD students and faculty.
So everyone, I'm very excited to give you a 360-degree view of digital resources that we use at IIAD. We're very fortunate to be using a plethora of digital resources, some of them being Canvas, LinkedIn Learning, Adobe Creative Cloud, Google Suite, Microsoft 365, Miro, and a lot more. Talking about Canvas, Canvas is a learning management system being used by Stanford, Harvard, Kingston, and many other universities. This is, again, a very great resource because we're able to time plan and do a lot of asynchronous learning as part of Canvas. We're able to do all of our deliverables, assignments, scheduling, a lot of our assessments on the same page. So it becomes very easy for students to access this. They get all the flexibility and they can be independent in their own learning. Talking of LinkedIn Learning allows us to learn any course at any given point in time. You can learn digital marketing wherever you are in whichever part of the world. You can learn courses on art and design. You can learn courses on 3D modeling, communication design, video editing, you name it, and it is just a click and course away. Speaking of Adobe Creative Cloud is a number of apps that are offered by Adobe Inc. They allow you to, of course, do a lot of video editing, graphic design, make very good compositions. You can do a lot of Photoshop editing. You can use Illustrator to enhance your 2D skills. So everything from Adobe Lightroom, Illustrator, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects is a part of the Adobe Creative Cloud. Our students and faculty all have a license to use. Looking at Google Suite, Google offers a great file management system starting from the Drive, where you can organize all your folders, have a backup of your work from every minute of the day until the end of day, end of year. Looking at spreadsheets, looking at Microsoft Word, looking at everything that Google has to offer in terms of cloud services. One can work real time with other collaborators, peers, faculty, students. Looking at Microsoft 365, Microsoft is something that all of you must be aware of. We're looking at Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, but now Microsoft has also gone into the generation of being able to do device management and advanced security systems with one connected experience. So we're looking at Word, we're looking at PowerPoint, we are now also looking at everything in terms of spreadsheets, etc. That is all a very connected platform. Looking at Miro, I don't know how many of you know about Miro. Miro is the latest thing that all people, many designers are using across the world. Miro is really a web whiteboard. It's a zoomable canvas. So when you go on Miro, you're able to collaborate with people all across the board, your students, teachers, fellow members, people in other parts of the world for brainstorming and helping them in the design process. So extremely useful tool. You should try it out sometime. These are some of the digital resources we at IIAD are using, and I hope that adds value to you as well. Amit, we can move on.
You are not audible, Amit.
Can you hear me now? Okay,
Yes,
and
yes.
my mute button on. Well, coming back to internships, placements, or what we call employability, what you see here, I don't know why this isn't playing. So what you see in front of you is the visuals from HR Summit. We invite a lot of, since we're working with all of these design studios on live projects, it's important for us to take a feedback from all of these companies who come here and brainstorm with us of where are we going right, where are we going wrong. However, what it brings about is that there's a strong collaboration within the industry and IIAD, and the rigor is around making sure that the portfolio comes out really strong and the students are employable. What I also mean by employability is that look around us, look yourself as a professional, Sumit. There are times when you feel like this is my profession and I'm siloed into learning, let's say fashion design, or I'm studying BCom or any other course. I just have this learning to take up. But what if I want to learn coding for a change, or what if I want to learn artificial intelligence? That's not in my curriculum. Our digital resource, which gives every student access to LinkedIn Learning, gives them this opportunity, which curates their learning into becoming something more than the curriculum offers, and hence making sure all our students are more employable than any other student in the country, really. So our teachers are actively working, the career services department are actively working into profiling students on LinkedIn, on platforms where we could possibly bridge the gap of design education and the industry. Well, I think that's about it, Sumit. I've touched upon these
Yes.
points earlier, but then what you really have to do to get into IIAD is get 50% marks, which is nothing really. Looking at the bright minds of the current generation, we're talking about kids getting 95 plus, I think, as a bare minimum now. But then should you get 50% in grade 12 and you can clear the IIAD Design Aptitude Test or IIAD Management Aptitude Test to come for the Fashion Business Management Program, you're welcome to IIAD. You can start your application process by scanning this QR code, and and come be a part of this fantastic ecosystem where there's industry, there's there's industry partners such as Fashion Design Council of India and many others, which brings to the fore the future designers and to take advantage of these exciting times.
All right. Thank you so much for you have comprehensively, you have covered almost all the topics which we are looking for. So
Sumit, I request you to please take.
I've got a lot of questions now. Students have forwarded me the questions in my chat box as well as on my WhatsApp. And without wasting time, should I start taking those questions now?
Sure, Sumit, I request you to please see if Jitin sir, Sunita ma'am, and Shaz from our faculty team who's joined. Would request you to see if you can put them in the panel list.
Yeah, if they switch on their video, I can simply put them.
I am Dr. Sunita.
Yes.
Hi, Sumit. Good to see you.
Hello, sir. Good to see you. You can switch off the screen share so that we can be on the. All right. Thank you, everyone. So I have got a lot of questions. First of all, I'll just ask the question. Anyone can answer the question. So first of all, please tell me that the first question I got is that IIAD is a fashion college or a design college? Anyone can answer.
Um, I'd request Jitin sir to answer this. I'd introduce Jitin sir as Dr. Jitin Chadha, who is the founder and director of IIAD. Jitin sir.
Yeah, Sumit, we are clearly a design school. We have a almost equal amount of intake across all our courses, fashion just being one of them. So there is no specific emphasis just on fashion. It's a strong course, it's a good course, but we have equally popular courses in communication, design, interior architecture, as well as other aspects of fashion, communication, and business as well.
All right, so I have been to IIAD, and guys, the type of infrastructure they have in fashion, they have in interiors, they all are world class. So one thing I appreciate a lot, that they have a brilliant access to the softwares. On the day they join, they have almost all kind of softwares, all licensed softwares, and the students can work till the time they're in the college. And definitely, it's one experience very few students get in India. Uh, Sir, ma'am, anyone can answer. So a lot of students says that IID has their own curriculum, or IID is following the curriculum of Kingston.
Okay. I think it's better you post all the questions to Amit and let him redirect, because
Yes.
Yes, Amit, you can please redirect the question to the faculties.
Well, all the curriculum. So the curriculum at IID is actually approved and validated by Kingston University. The design education in the UK is there to solve the problems of the UK. The design education in IID is there to solve the problems of the country of India. It is of course validated and approved by one of the leading design schools of the world, which is Kingston. So it's approved by Kingston University. But then our teachers are progressively and every now and then on an ongoing basis trained and developed by Kingston.
All right. So there are few colleges in India, they say that we have interior and architecture. Few colleges say that we have interior and styling, and few colleges say that they're interior design. What does, because a lot of students have a keen interest in the field of interiors, and I have got really good feedback for the interior courses. So what IIT is offering to the students in the field of interior?
Let Kanika answer that question, being from the interior design faculty. But then the premise being set is that architecture and interior clearly has an edge of employability of or working of 500:1, where there are 500 more opportunities for an interior architecture designer over one of an architect. But then,
Yes, Kanika.
yeah, Kanika, if you can add to that.
Thanks so much for posing that question. That's a very interesting question and comes across many times wherever you might, converse with people. So talking of interior design, architecture and interior architecture, architecture specifically is the design and planning of buildings. We're looking at a built environment over here. We go from a macro level, which is town planning, urban planning, to something as micro as furniture detailing and construction detailing. So we're looking at the built environment and the physical space in terms of structures and in terms of contractual documentation. If we talk about interior design very specifically is enhancing the quality of life and spaces through design. And with that said, we're looking at a livable environment. It could be something as small as a house. It could be something as small as a room in a house. It could be something as big as a stadium or a football stadium or the interiors of an airport. So looking at interior design, we're focusing on wellness. We're focusing on quality of life in terms of sustainable practices that encompass retail design, hospitality design, residential design, and commercial design. And students really learn the principles of design as part of this and go into details with that. Now talking of interior architecture, the favorite thing here. Interior architecture as part of IIAD is another course. As part of this course, we are making sure that students learn to understand spaces through ideation, through experimentation, through visualization, and through the understanding of application once they go through the design process. So we're able to provide them with all the digital resources we can to make sure that they're not just doing learning by digital resources, but also by hand. They are trying to think with their hands at this time, not just with their mind. So looking at an interior architecture and design program at IIAD, we're really going into not just the fundamentals of spatial design, which is really saying how humans interact with spaces. We're not just looking at digital skills like drafting, drawing, and sketching. We're looking beyond the space. So beyond the space really here means that we are providing our students with the knowledge of technical services. When we look at materials, we're not just looking at materials from the standpoint of interior styling. That is, not a part of what we teach. We're looking at materials from the standpoint of use factor. We're looking at materials from the standpoint of senses, the idea of touch, the idea of being able to smell them, the idea of the sight. And at the same time, we're also looking at electrical, plumbing, HVAC. We're looking at construction documentation. Students learn to do contracts at a very, very early age at IIAD. So when they actually graduate from an interior architecture program, they're very ready for the industry. And the last thing that I'd like to elaborate on for interior architecture, Sumit, here is the ability to transform spaces. So our students go through experiential learning as part of spaces, and as they travel through these different spaces, which is on-site and off-site, which is at home or digitally now everywhere in the world, they are able to transform experiences for people based on client requirements. So everything gets tied and bridged very well based on a real client, if that answers the question.
So it's an intensive course. I think there's a lot of science involved. So does a student need to have a science background to enter the course of interior design in IIAD?
Not anymore.
No, Sumit, no. All design courses or management courses at IIAD, none of them require have a prerequisite for any particular subject.
Not prerequisite, but if a student is a science background, will it be helping them to for the course, or any student from any background can enter the course and excel?
Yeah, so all courses, Sumit, come with the
I am from a commerce background. I'm an architect and interior designer, very, very passionate for what I do. So you do not necessarily need a science background anymore to be an interior architect.
Okay, my second question, without wasting much time, is very, very important question, is that what is the difference between fashion communication and communication design? More of it's more of graphics, animation, or is the mixture of photography, filmmaking, everything?
I think Sunita ma'am, if you can answer this question. The question is more really on the difference between fashion design, fashion communication, and fashion business management.
What Sumit, what I'd like to talk about is maybe there are three courses which are very close to each other as far as what students think, and that is fashion design, fashion business management, and fashion communication. Communication design, maybe I'd leave Shahs to talk about it. But when you look at these three courses, fashion design is...
Ma'am, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Interestingly, we were working on a slide this morning. Do you want me to project that while you answer this?
Yes, please do.
Sure, just 1 second.
So basically, to talk about fashion design, fashion design is more talking about, the emphasis is more on design and the process of designing a garment. And it would include things like fashion history, textiles, the pattern making, draping, garment construction, illustrations. Yeah. Nowadays, they have started doing online illustrations. Then textile printing, design research, fashion forecasting. Yeah. So these are some of the nuances that we do. It's more heavy in terms of technicalities of designing a costume and understanding the process that goes behind it. Whereas when we come to fashion business management, it's more to do with the entire jargon of business involved in terms of the back-end operation, the front-end operation. The fashion aspect of it would be, understanding from the consumer point of view, what is it that the consumer would want for the spring, summer of the next year? Okay, so that is more to do with fashion business, and we're just talking about here what the business, what the fashion aspect in the three elements are. And fashion communication, is talking more about communication and communicating the insight of the fashion. Yeah. So here we're talking about fashion photography, fashion styling, fashion forecasting in terms of communication, making of WGSN, for example. Yeah. This is the fashion element. So, Amit, if you can go to the next slide, which is talking about the business element in these three. So the business element, if you see how the fashion business management is more concentrating on the business aspect. Like the fashion aspect was more in fashion design. Here, fashion business management is dealing with, as I said, supply chain, logistics, the entire, you take the financial statement, say for example, of a brand, understand the financial statement, understand how the brand is going to do marketing. Okay, what is the strategy when it comes to international brands as compared to the domestic brands? Okay, how social media, online marketing, etc. So this is what we do in fashion business management. Whereas the business aspect in fashion communication is more to do with marketing, is more to see and do the ad films, do the social media of it, visual merchandising. How is it that the brand is going to do its windows? It's more visual in terms. And the next one is talking about the communication aspect of it. Amit, if you can change the slide. Yeah, here, now see, fashion communication is more talking about the communication, which is graphic designing, which is digital communication, filmmaking, fashion art direction, UX, UI app and web design. There is digital design. So this is, now next slide, if you go to, it becomes very clear. If I am a student with more wanting to understand more making of the garment in fashion, then see, fashion design is more heavy on fashion. Fashion business management is more heavy on business aspect of the fashion. And fashion communication is more heavy in terms of communicating to the society what is the philosophy of the brand. Yeah, I hope Sumit, I'll say
this is, I must say that these were the magical slides, and it makes everything clear about the difference among these three courses and the common thing in these three courses, and plus what all you will be learning in these three. So far, I was also very much constrained that fashion business management will be retailing marketing, but all I can see that it's full of e-commerce, digitalization, principle of management, economic environment, raw material of fashion. So it's a mixture of fashion management and communication. So fashion business management is also a really good course. So fashion business management is a 3-year program or a 4-year program?
3-year program.
It's a 3-year, and fashion design and communication. So guys, IIAD is offering you most of the courses are a 4-year program, which has the foundation program just like any other college. I have one question to all of you. Just keep the slide open. I have one question that if a student is if they go to IIAD, of course, every student is not so well communicated with the college, or कि उनको सब पता हो कि ये क्या क्या पढ़ाई हो रही है जो अभी देख रहे हैं. आई एम वेरी मच श्योर दैट दे मस्ट बी रियली आई ओपनिंग फॉर देम कि उनके लिए क्या क्या होता है. लेकिन अगर एक स्टूडेंट को एक साल के बाद पता चलता है कि ओके आई शुड बी डूइंग फैशन बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट, is there any provision they can shift from fashion design to fashion management? Because fashion management is a 3-year program and fashion design is a 4-year program. Is there any opportunity or option for them to shift and move?
Sumit, yes. Dealing with small student size, our student, there is a lot of human interaction and feedbacks that lets us not force a student pursue a stream of whatever they're studying by force. I mean, we would encourage students to study what they want to study. So of course we go back to the faculty and ensure that the switch happens. However, there's a lot of criteria that has to be met, looking at why is it they want to switch. If the inclination is really benefiting the student, we would have no problems in making that switch.
one very short question is that in last few years, I have seen a lot of students who are going for communication design. What's the difference in communication design and fashion communication? Very short answer.
Shaz,
Amit,
yeah, sir. If you
Give you a very, very short answer. Yeah, hi. Fashion communication is communication about fashion. Communication design is communication at large.
All right.
Yeah.
What will you suggest the student to go for communication design or fashion communication if they have more interest towards brand and fashion, and for the students who have more interest towards graphics, website and filmmaking? So आप क्या suggest करोगे उन student को जिनका interest styling, photography और fashion की तरफ है? They should go for fashion communication, or they can still come into communication design and choose the courses of fashion communication while doing communication design?
I'm a communication design faculty. So I would say you should come to communication design and get the larger picture, get the bigger cake. And after you've learned all the nitty gritties of the communication design, and if you have a bent towards fashion, that is always something you can do. In fact, this question one of my students asked me the other day, that I like to illustrate, but do you think I can be a fashion illustrator? You know, so yes, absolutely.
So
looking at
Sumit,
the
sorry, I'll just jump in here just to balance the conversation. Firstly, I want to address the question that you asked about, yes, absolutely. All our design courses, which is fashion design, fashion communication, communication design, and interior architecture design, start with a common foundation program, which is the first year. And students very much have the option to switch after the first year. In fact, when they're in the campus, they get to see what's happening. And that's the best time to really understand where your strengths lie. And the foundation faculty also works with the students. And if they have a certain inclination towards, particular course, it's encouraged. So given that we work in small batches, choosing what you want to study is not a big challenge, and shifting courses. And fashion business management doesn't have the foundation because, as you can see, fashion business management course is not very technically design heavy, which is what foundation is about. But we've had students after foundation, they think that they want to do fashion business management. So they go into fashion business management's first year. So the other courses are just 3-year courses with a foundation before them. And the fashion business management course doesn't require a foundation. But that doesn't mean after doing a foundation, you cannot switch to fashion business management. And Shaz is absolutely correct. We have a absolutely wonderful and amazing communication design program. But I don't think the students need to really worry at this stage if they're confused between fashion communication and communication design, because they have a whole year at IIAD to figure it out. They are really close to each other. Of course, one is from the context of fashion. So if you have an interest or a passion in fashion, then certainly fashion communication might make more sense to you. But I don't think that's a worry at this stage, because our admission process and course selection doesn't depend on that.
Okay, one very important question, that if a student is going for a 2+2 program, which a lot of students are interested for, like they do 2 year in India, 2 year in Kingston or any other college where they will be getting opportunity, the curriculum, will it be same or it will be different in the 2 years they will be following there?
So Sumit, regarding Amit that's spoken about the 2+2 here, really how transfers happen based on credit systems, right? And fortunately for us, because we are offering a UK program, each year students get they get their mark sheet from Kingston and they get credit from Kingston University, which is very well recognized and reputed all over the world, particularly in UK, US, Canada, Australia, all the English-speaking countries, and they value those credits a lot. So it's about credit transfer. Obviously, each university has their own curriculum, but what we have gone ahead and done is sign MOUs with various universities where they have come and evaluated our curriculum. And the fact that it's a Kingston program itself, solves most of the problems. The acceptability of this program is tremendously enhanced because of our Kingston collaboration. Each year, our examiners from UK fly down. Over the last 2 years, they've done it online and double mark all the students' work for each year. So the opportunity to transfer is not a problem. And if you were to go to whichever university, of course, you graduate from that university's degree in that country. So in UK, if you transfer to Nottingham-Trent University or Coventry or University of Arts, and many others, the fact that they have come and evaluated our curriculum thoroughly, they've gone through entire curriculum, they find the curriculum matches very well with theirs, and hence they're accepting as an agreement with the institution to take our students into transfers. Not only taking transfers, but they're also fairly generous with offering scholarships to our students.
I have two very important questions. If a student is graduating from India, like they do complete course from IIAD, they'll be getting one degree from Linga University, and it will be a bachelor in vocational art. And all the students will be eligible for the post graduation across the globe and in India as well. Correct? Yes.
Yeah, and I just want to give you my perspective that absolutely yes, and I think students must get a local qualification which makes them eligible for pursuing postgraduate in India with government institutions and government jobs. I think it's very, very important to do that, and we have incorporated that into the program. But I feel students need to look much beyond just the legal paper and look at the larger value the institution offers. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of UGC approved universities in the country. You're aware of so many, and you counsel students day in, day out. So today, having a government recognized degree is a given. I don't think that is what I call the hygiene factor. That wo to hai. The question is, what other things is a university or a college offering me? And I do believe, we are in 2021. And this is, now we're going into the post-COVID world where the globalization has happened a lot more. A lot of our graduates, like our students, they're working in IBM or Cognizant or Gartner, are working on projects for these companies across the globe. Our student in IBM is, working on doing the user interface for Mercedes-Benz as a IBM's client. And they're probably working with teams in UK, Canada, Europe. And when those guys come to know that these students have studied a Kingston University degree, the value is tremendous for them because they understand this degree, they value this degree. So today, I think you need a qualification which has a global standing, should have a local acceptability, but more importantly, I think these students are going to graduate in 2026. The world is shrinking down to a computer screen, and it's really, really important that your degree is a signal which everybody in the world understands.
Okay, so if a student is doing 2 years from India and 2 years from Kingston, they will be getting the degree from Kingston or from IID or from India?
In either case, they'll be getting a degree from Kingston.
Okay, in both the cases, they'll be getting a degree from Kingston.
So it's not like some of the cases where if you don't transfer, you don't get it. As I said, the majority of our students do end up graduating in the country and take the opportunity to do masters abroad. So in both the cases, they'll be getting this.
I have a question with Shaz, that if a student is very willing to go for filmmaking, what all IID has to offer for in the course of filmmaking in the communication design, film and advertising?
Well, everything that it takes to be a filmmaker. We have an extensive course in storytelling. We have a course on pre-production, in production design. We also equip you and empower you with animation, which is the current hot method of telling stories. We teach you filmmaking in terms of its production values, pre-production, post-production, storyboarding, concept writing, screenplay. So yeah, the works.
All right.
And also innovative medias of using phone films.
Yeah, of course. These days, phone film has their own film festival.
It's a
so
new language, and it is the future.
Yes. If a student is going for fashion communication, then I have a couple of questions for fashion design as well. If a student is going for fashion communication, how will they be felicitated for the what they call it these days is like celebrity styling? So is there a part of celebrity styling, and you have tie-up and student can go for internship, or they have gone for internship in past for the celebrity styling? Because I have got 6-7 questions that in fashion communication will be getting the option of celebrity styling and to work in movies and serials.
It goes without saying, Sumit, yes, we work with some of the best names in the industry. Tarun Tenani is a very popular figure who comes to IID every now and then. So yes, we work with some of the best brands like Biba, Shoppers Stop, etc., to give us that opportunity. And our students are regularly, a part of fashion shows, etc. That was of course pre-pandemic. Once everything resumes, we will definitely have, what you're saying goes without saying, and a lot more than that.
Yeah, in fact, our students have been placed in companies like Netflix as well. So a lot of content companies are going to hire a lot of fashion students going forward.
All right. In the course of fashion design, will there be the part of textiles also in the course of fashion design, or it will be restricted to fashion, menswear, women's wear, corporate wear, or will there be the part of textile also? Because a lot of student wants to know that will I be learning weaving and prints also in the course of fashion design in IIT?
Yes, that's exactly what I said in the slide, that they do a lot of weaving, they do a lot of printing, so everything, all those materials are available within the college itself. So, so I think students here are free to come to IIAD campus and see the kind of work that the students have done.
And if I put it in a communication design way, in order to make a garment, which is the end product, you have to start right at the beginning. So obviously textiles is a part of.
So guys, all the student, if you want to visit IIT, it's open. You can see the campus, and trust me, you will be amazed to see the type of infrastructure, and you will be like fall in love with the fashion design department, communication design department when you go and actually visit their campus. So you can always contact me to visit the campus. Okay.
So, but just to add, if you look at Amit is sitting in one of the studios.
Yeah,
and
I can.
you just give a little bit of a space, just see
Yeah.
there are no classrooms. That is the open space.
Yeah, we don't have classrooms. And Sumit, I got really excited when he told me that we will have this session today. And I thought, what better place? I do not want to put up a wallpaper behind me because I know Zoom allows you to create that.
So first I thought that
The campus,
जब मैंने देखा पंखा नाच रहा है पीछे तो मैं
it's not.
You are in the
It's
college.
not. I am. No, it's not. I am. Kanika with me here is in the studio. Our students actually, incidentally, our students had a great co-curricular activity today. They played.
People have gone different folds
half an hour
in
ago.
college.
We had students dancing here half an hour ago, so it was I had to chase them away because it's the feel of the campus that you don't want to leave. It's a fun campus. It's fantastic to be in, and this session all the more ensured that I stay back and do it from the session.
I have graduation from NIF Delhi, and we used to sit till 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. And when I came last time, you said that we are open whenever you are coming. We are always open for you to work throughout the night also. So that's something we truly love. Okay.
If you want to drop by, I'm here for another hour.
A couple of very important questions. Couple of extremely important questions. Basically, every parent wants to know that what will be the cost involved if they're studying throughout 4 years in IIT, and what will be the cost involved if they are going for 2+2. So they have to make their budget in mind, so that because forms will be out now, and they have now started planning. And see, a lot of students I am teaching, they are now more interested that rather than going for 4 years outside, I want to go for 2 years. So I think IIT is one of the finest college in Delhi NCR. In fact, in India also, who have one of the finest collaboration in UK. So what will be the cost involved for 2+2 or 4 years in India?
Well, the 4-year course in the country is, IID course for design is 4,67,000 and some change. That's for this year. It's about 4% increase that we have every year. So we don't know what the fees will be for next year. We'll let you know. But then that's, we can take it as 4,67,000 for this year. What the cost will be for the 2+2 program is completely dependent on which country they're really going to. So you'll have to bear the cost of that geographic land. I'd request Jitin sir to throw some light upon this, of the differential cost of various countries.
Yeah. So I think to the best of my memory, Sumit, the cost of a program is between 18 to 19 lakhs over 4 years. For 3 years, of course, it's 25% lesser. If you complete the entire program, and that includes the cost of a domestic degree and international degree and everything else. With regards to transfers, I mean, I can tell you for UK because I have personal experience and we have collaboration. If you're going to go to UK, you should budget at the very least around 20 lakhs a year for cost of living and studying. It could be between 15 to 25, depending on how much scholarship you get. But I would say it's prudent to budget about 20 lakhs. And I think we are one of the few institutions which has a 3+1 option with a couple of universities, where they're accepting a student into a 4th year, which is a rarity. So it really depends on the students. They have the option to spend the next 3 years abroad, 2 years abroad, or just 1 year abroad. It depends on their budget. I hope that helps.
Yes, so you have almost, in any case, I'll be also explaining them once they will be coming to me for the one-to-one counseling. And trust me, guys, IIT is one of the toughest college to pass because I know that a lot of kids fail after first year, and it's very surprising that no one fails in NIT and IID, and students are failing in IID, and they are coming back to me, sir, please kuch kar do, main pass ho jaऊं. मैंने बोला, I cannot help you out. And the same way I got the answer from IID, we cannot help. So IID, so how many students you fail every year? It's out of the way question, but yes, how many students you fail every year?
No, that is. I think we must be having not more than 5 to 7% of the students who don't clear because I think they have enjoyed a bit too much, but they have a chance to do a retake over the summer. I think what happens is a lot of times it's so confusing in what genre of education you want to do, and then within design. So I think the ones who don't succeed are the ones who perhaps weren't very keen on design, and they find that out a little later during the year. I think most of our students really like us. I think design is one of those courses where you do it because you have a passion for it, not because your parents are forcing you to do it. I can understand you go into engineering, another place because your parents are forced to do it. I've never heard of a parent forcing the child to come and study design. In many cases, they fight with their parents to come and study design. So, but yes, I think one thing I want to take this opportunity to tell, both parents and students is, as far as at least IID is concerned, we take design as a very serious discipline, very serious academic discipline. And, designers are no less hardworking or no less technical or no less professional than an engineer or anybody else. And I think it is upon all of us to make sure that the value of a designer is upheld and it's not trivialized as a, time pass course. Certainly, I can tell you that IID is not the place for students who want to just while away the next 2-3 years. And it is certainly a place for students who are passionate about design and really want to make something out of themselves.
What is the minimum scholarship student can expect, and what is the maximum scholarship? Because I have seen student getting 100% scholarships, and I've seen student getting no scholarship as well. So what are the criterias you see and you check, and while evaluating the work and their written examination and portfolio? And second question along with that is it really required to have a lot of art in the portfolio, or you want to see all kind of extracurricular activities in the portfolio? So we have communication design, fashion design, interior design. All people are sitting here. So what you see when you check the portfolio one by one, I want you to answer.
We don't have a portfolio assessment at IID, and scholarships at IID have never gone to 100%. We give you the best standards of education from, it's a global standard of education that you get from Kingston, and a second to none industry partnership that you get at IID. And it involves cost. We spend a lot, we invest a lot on students' education. We ensure that it's of the highest quality. It comes at a cost. However, having said all that, we ensure that scholarship is given to somebody who needs it. Every student only has to clear the design aptitude test or the management aptitude test.
The design aptitude test.
Sorry.
The design aptitude test will be based on English, Math, GK. So what all will be there in the examination? And the mode of examination can be like offline also, online also, or it will be hybrid.
So we adapted to, the whole education industry really adapted to the online way of testing. We continue to do that for a lot of students who are out of Delhi. We would also have the offline, test available, for students who want to visit the campus. And, it's a huge campus. We can easily ensure that, it's social distancing is maintained, and we can take the test in the protocols. So, coming back to my point that, scholarships is given to somebody who needs it. It is also equated based on the merit and how they have performed in the entrance exams. And we've been very generous over the last couple of years, only because of the pandemic. And we understand we are here to listen to the hardships, and as much as we can stand by the students and parents, we're happy to extend that waiver on the fees. And we've, the last year, Dr. Chadda was grateful to give a COVID scholarship for the first year and the second year onwards. So we are, it's, the human interaction, the human understanding in the college is still there. But then we have never given 100% scholarships. I don't know which of these colleges are giving 100% scholarships, and why are they giving so? It's beyond my understanding. I don't know. So yeah, we ensure that the highest quality of education is there, and we're generous into giving us scholarships. I would not give you a cap. but then we have gone up to 25% as the highest
The scholarship is
this
totally
year.
based on merit scholarship.
Yes.
And if they perform good in examination, in the written examination, they can get the scholarship. I also suggest
Yes.
them that go ahead with this.
Yes.
Amit and Amit and Sumit, I'd also like to add on a couple of things that you guys already spoke about. Since you are asking about portfolio assessments and reviews, we do portfolio assessments at times if it is asked for. So if a student needs some sort of portfolio review for their own interest, then we do set up a one-on-one appointment with them. Many a times faculty participates in that review to give the student the right kind of direction they need. But as far as IIAD is concerned in terms of admissions, the student needs to have the inherent ability to enter IIAD. We're really testing the student's aptitude, and we're not trying to put a huge population out. We're really making sure that if you have the inspiration, you have the passion, you're an aspirational student looking for an aspirational school, wanting to work by your hands, then we let you in. And
So the
yes,
scholarships are,
the IIAD examination.
so scholarships are available for first year also, and second year also, and third and fourth also. But yes, according to my knowledge, they have to perform every year to get the scholarship in the subsequent years.
They have to perform very well.
Yeah. Sumit, I just wanted to add that the meaning of scholar is scholarly. It's not a discount. it is meant for scholarly students.
Yes, absolutely fine. Okay, my last segment, just 5 more minutes because it's late. So, if a student wants to come for, like, I just got a question, that's why I'm asking that, sir, I'm interested in fashion design, but now I think that I should go for fashion communication. So if a student is doing fashion design, they can also do a lot of part of communication design or fashion communication in the fashion design course as well.
I would tell the student not to worry. When they're with us in the first year, they will themselves find their interest. And certainly, as Amit had mentioned, that we give a paid subscription of LinkedIn Learning to every student. There are lots of courses on learning graphic design or social media marketing and all that. Our students across the board pick it up if they have interest in it. But really, honestly, as far as IIAD is concerned, you really don't need to worry about your specialization. All you need to do is come into the foundation. And once you're on campus, you spend a year, you see what's happening there. You'll be fairly sure by the end of the first year where you want to do your specialization.
I have got around 8-9 questions that when they can visit the campus now. So,
Well, we're right here in the neighborhood, and we're available from Monday to Saturday, 8:30 to 6:30 p.m., 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Just drop in without appointment, really.
and the last and the most important question, when you are planning for the first examination in 2021?
Well, for this year, Sumit, we're still saying no to a lot of admission requests for this session.
I mean 2021 application for 2022 admissions, like 2022.
It will be in December.
December, the first cycle of the
Yes.
exam will be happening in December.
In December, yes.
मुझसे question
And
गलत
it
हो
will
गया,
be
I
both
asking about 20.
offline. It will be both offline and online.
All right. So mainly it's going to be a written examination, the aptitude test, which will be having drawing as well as the general ability test for maths, English, GK, and logical reasoning. So okay,
That's
guys, definitely for that I'm there to help you out. No need to worry. Thank you so much, everyone. You have cleared a lot of doubt and everything. And a lot of student is going to watch this video later on because they have their other coaching and tuition, and most of the students have started with their examination. Actually, it's their half-yearly examination time. So anyways, so the guys, application process will be starting soon. I'll be getting the application in a couple of days, and I'll inform you on 10th of September when you can come and collect the form and how to submit it. I think you have to submit photograph, 10th mark sheet. I'll inform you everything. So thank you so much, all the panelists, for taking all the question and clearing so many doubts. And trust me, more than parents, it was enlightening for me that I understood the difference between fashion management, fashion styling, communication design. All the doubts are now clear. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Sumit. It's always a pleasure interacting with you.
Thank you. Good night,
Thank you,
guys.
Sumit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.